First and foremost, all praises to the Most High. Yeah. Hey, this Claw Volume 2. Can't live another way. Yeah. I got my O.F.I brothers with me on this one, man.
Go crazy, AG.
All of them.
Hey, yo, Fraxel.
And they all got something to say. Hey, Judah, start it off.
Life is crazy, ain't it? One day I got a big smile, the next it's always raining.
I don't believe that's the real G. I think that's Julius Caesar lover or something like that.
So what does the real Jesus look like?
The real Jesus?
Yeah.
Probably like him.
Probably like him?
Yeah.
That's what the Bible say?
I don't really go by the Bible, but that's what I think.
So where did you get that thought concept? If you don't go by the Bible, where did you just imagine that he would look more like him?
No, just naturally, hang on.
All right.
Boss man, where you at?
Get Revelation 1 and 14 real quick.
Oh, okay, I'm right in front of the liquor store. You see me?
Let me read you something real quick, bro.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 14, and it reads, his head and his hairs were white like wool.
So he had white woolly hair. His hair texture was woolly.
Right.
What people on the earth have woolly hair?
People with carbon in their skin.
People with carbon in their skin?
Yeah, that's the melanin carbon.
Okay, melanin. So everybody, because you know many races of people have melanin. Many races of people have melanin.
Yeah,
but
I believe that there's many races of what they call black.
So okay, hold on. So you think any race that has melanin is a form of the black race?
Not so much a form, but derived from.
Derived from the black race? Okay. So that would mean that they would be the black race if they derive from them.
Well, to be an actual.
Do you derive from your father?
Yes.
And then your father derived from his father?
Yes.
So that would mean if they derive from the so-called black man, ultimately they are black too. But we know
Pretty
that,
much, yeah.
But that can't be true because everybody ain't black.
What are you talking about, the Caucasian?
Well, you said all people derive from the black man.
No, this is what
all people that have melanin derive from the black man. That's what you said, right?
This is what I actually believe. I believe we actually constructed the white man. We made him.
In a lab?
Somewhat like a lab, but more or less like genocide type of thing.
So you believe in the same doctrine as the Nation of Islam at the end of the day? Yaqub, grafting in.
A little bit of it. I won't say totally. A little bit of it. And just like I believe in a little bit of the Bible, and a little bit of here and there. Things that make sense to me.
What part of the Bible you believe in?
I believe that there are stories in there that arrive from other original texts. And those stories, and only those stories, hit my spirit in a certain way to where it's believable to me. And I know it didn't originally arrive from the writers of the Bible, it arrived from somewhere else that I can feel it was true text.
Well, we don't agree with that, but
can we humbly ask him to provide an example of that?
Yeah, I would like that.
An example of
a source.
Different sources. The Bible. The meaning of the Bible is a gathering of books.
Biblios.
Yeah, and just like most.
Well, hold on though. What's your name?
Adari.
Our brother Nehemiah. We brothers O.F.I. One thing though that you have to bring in context. Biblios does mean a gathering of books, but it's a gathering of the books that were written by the Israelites. It doesn't just mean a gathering of, like in the context of the Bible being biblios, it's not applied to saying that this gathering of books is just a gathering of a whole bunch of random books.
Right.
It's only in the context of these compilations were books that were written by the Israelite prophets, like Isaiah, Obadiah, Ezekiel. All of them are Israelites.
But
more overly
there's
gotta count.
inspired by God.
There's no fact that some of those stories has been already formulated before.
Yeah, so that's what we asking. So that's what we asking you. We putting the burden of proof on you of that.
I'm sorry.
The burden of proof, meaning we asking you to provide a source
Of stories that was
of proof
brought about.
that it was before the Bible.
Somebody turn on the Jeopardy music right quick. And don't say the flood.
The flood?
Yeah, you can't use that one.
You know what he's referring to when he say that?
The flood?
Yeah, the account.
Mud, the big mudslide?
The big mudslide. The account of the flood.
What I believe, like, and when they say this world is going to be destroyed,
No, wait, let's not go there yet. We still waiting for
A source.
A source.
a source of confirmation of
Yeah.
stories that was brought
Right.
about before the actual Bible was
Right.
written.
That's
Yes.
in the Bible. The Bible. Basically, what did the Bible plagiarize some of its accounts from? Because that's basically what you're
There's a
saying.
lot of Greek theology.
Okay,
Greek.
Go ahead, King. Cut that up. Bible shot through the spirit.
Hold on. So what original language was the Bible written in?
The Bible?
Yeah.
And let's say I'm not an actual
Hebrew.
fan of the Bible. So
It was originally written in Hebrew. Later, it was translated into Greek.
okay,
So that would mean that it would have to come before Greek theology.
but I don't.
No, I'm saying you just said that it plagiarized a lot from Greek. I'm showing you that it was originally in Hebrew, later translated into Greek. So it couldn't have come from Greek theology because it predates Greek theology.
Right.
Okay. So it originally started in Hebrew.
Exactly.
You said? Okay.
So that's strike
But
one.
how would I know that?
I got you. Here you go.
What's the-
We provide sources. That's what we asking for right now.
Oh, it's on the tablet. So the Ten Commandments, which is something that's in that book.
Was originally written in what? Hebrew.
So what's the language that's written inside the pyramid?
Hieroglyphics.
So that would predate the Bible.
But this is the thing is that we're not asking about a language. We're asking about an account, accounts and stories, because there's a lot of
There's
languages.
stories inside of the pyramid.
Yeah, but you said hieroglyphs would predate the Bible, right? And the compilation of the Bible, okay? When you look at even the languages, there was something called the Phoenician script, right? Which is what you would call hieroglyphs. Because even if you look at where the Egyptians come from, they come from Ham and they come from Mizraim, right? Mizraim, as far as that's Egyptians, right? Mizraim, that's their forefather. Who predated him was Ham, one of Noah's sons. You follow what I'm saying? So a lot of that's why I said, when you talk about in the pyramids, you may hear about a story of the flood because that's all coming from Noah. So there are going to be certain things that are common in most cultures because it happened a flood. But now if you say that the Ten Commandments, let's take for an example, and if you say that those are in the pyramids, we would actually reject that and say that we can prove that what's in the pyramids, the 42 laws of Ma'at, those don't, what the word I'm looking for, King?
Predate.
Those don't not predate, those don't correlate. They don't correlate with the Ten Commandments. You follow me? So if you're taking a standpoint that just because the pyramids predated the compilation of the Bible, that's not a valid fact to say that just because the pyramids predate the compilation of the Bible, that the accounts in the Bible have been plagiarized from the pyramids.
No, I'm not necessarily saying that. I just brought that up since we were on that subject.
It's been like 10 minutes. We still kind of waiting for that account.
A source.
I'll be back.
So is it safe to say that Is it safe to say a lot of those things you think though?
I have a lot of talks.
Could it be a possibility, and this isn't no offense to you at all, brother.
No, it's all right.
But could it be a possibility that you maybe are regurgitating some things that have been said openly out, but haven't really dove and researched those particular things yourself to be able to stand and say, hey, this account was plagiarized? Could that be safe to say?
Not really, because I stopped doing that years ago.
Stop just saying regurgitated things?
Yeah. I started going by things that I've actually found. I do my own studies.
So, but I hate to do this.
He forgot that source.
I'm about to say I hate to do this based off you saying that. You saying you stopped doing that years ago. I would expect you to have at least one source from between years ago to now that you could present on why you stand on what you stand on.
It's kind of hard to put it into. I mean, I just got off work. I started at 4 a.m.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to put my mind on exactly what I want to say.
Okay.
I'm all over the place. I got a guy that's getting ready to meet me right here. I'm all over the place right now, but trust and believe me when I say this. I was brought up and born, my mom evangelist, my wife's an evangelist. It's just something about.
Well, let me give you our stance before I think I know what road you're going down. We don't believe in Christianity.
Okay.
We don't believe in man-made religion.
That's right.
We believe that it's a misrepresentation of what's actually in the Bible.
That's right.
We believe that the Bible teaches the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American man, woman, and child that they're actually the Israelites of the Bible.
That's right.
From a heritage and from an ethnicity standpoint. And that the Bible is written about our people. That it contains our culture, our heritage, the wrongs that we're not supposed to do, the rights that we are supposed to do, and the history of our people and encounters with other nations on the earth.
Now, let me ask you this. What version of the Bible are you speaking of?
Right now, that version in his hand is King James.
Yeah.
Go ahead, let us hear it.
Yeah,
we
come
ready.
on, come on.
Let us
come
hear
on.
it.
Yeah, I can't. Well, you know the true author of the King James Version, he also wrote the demonic Bible as well.
I'm gonna let you finish before you go ahead.
All right. Have you ever read of the Basilicon? The Duran Basilicon? It's a well-known book by King James.
Okay.
Right? That's a book that he actually authored. Okay? Now, when you get into the Bible, King James didn't author the Bible. King James authorized as being the king of England, Wales, and Scotland at the time. Scholars, Greek and Hebrew scholars, that translate the Bible from ancient Greek, which was the Septuagint, right? And also from the Masoretic text, I believe, which was the Hebrew, into English.
Why would he do that?
Easily, because King James.
He was a homosexual.
I mean, this is the thing is, whether he was a homosexual, let's entertain that he was, right? Whether he was a homosexual or not, that has nothing to do with the content of the Bible.
The reason why I say that, and I brought that, reason why I say that is because why would I follow? Basically, what I'm trying to say.
Wait, hold on. Before you go there, before you go there, I don't want you to fall on your own sword. Why would you? You shouldn't follow no man, but you should follow the scriptures, and the scriptures say that being homosexual is a sin. So this is the point is. So therefore, don't focus on the man, focus on God, because it says we shall obey God rather than man, right?
True.
So if King James authorized the translation of the scriptures, and he was a homosexual, because the Most High put it on his spirit to do that, so the Israelites that were dwelling in his kingdom who spoke English could have the word of the Most High God. That's all.
He did that to a homosexual?
Hold on.
Go ahead, Ken.
That's all. You missing the point. It don't really matter what the man. Do you believe in math?
Huh?
Do you believe in math?
Math?
Yes.
Mathematics?
Yes. Like you use math on a daily, don't you? We all do. Even when we're making purchases, we use math.
When he pulling them loads, he using math.
Yeah, but
I'm just asking a simple. It's not even a trick question.
I do. Well, I'm gonna answer it this way.
Okay.
I do, and it works for this society that was built for us.
No, that's
but
cool.
Actually,
that's
mathematically, math is actually wrong.
I don't. That's cool. That's cool.
Maybe I'm getting too deep, but
You use
off.
you use it in a correct
Purposely.
you use it in a correct sense in this society though. Correct.
in this society. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
It makes sense.
My point is, if you
What
found
they have
out
to set up.
today on November 15th at 6:06 that the concept of math in this society was created by a homosexual, would you stop using math? With him being
Probably
homosexual,
not so much that he's homosexual, but I will more or less try to find out the reason behind.
it's just so you could have a metric
I'm gonna
system
give
to
an
be able
example.
to use money, to be able to measure things. It's just a system put in place to be able to have some type of order in your society.
But it's a false system, and it was
But
done
listen,
falsely
to
throw
that's,
you off.
But that's irrelevant. The point
So
I'm trying to
you
make
never have your full.
the point I'm trying to make is whether he was homosexual or not, it doesn't change that you use the math that was created. And him being homosexual doesn't affect the math.
Right.
So King James, let's entertain if he was a homosexual. It doesn't affect what's in the Bible just because he allowed people to translate it from one language to another.
But then I gotta ask the question, why?
Why what?
Why would
So
he-
the providence of where he was ruling over, most of the people there didn't speak Hebrew. So in order for them to be able to listen and read God's word, it had to be translated to a different language.
So God picked the worst king, almost the worst king ever.
It's not even a matter about the type of person he is. It matters that he was in a position of rulership, so he had the power and authority to authorize,
To do it.
to author exactly.
So he used whoever he needs to use. To
Yeah,
get
that's
it done.
right.
Exactly.
That's right.
I understand
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't know. I mean,
Well, peep this. This
Secret
the
agent.
why is irrelevant. You know why? Because I think we should focus on the outcome. You follow what I'm saying? Because I would say this, from a vague perspective, a clear answer to the why is because the Most High does His own pleasure. He want to do whatever He does, whatever He want to do.
and that's exactly what I stopped years ago. What I mean by just following through and not really having any true feelings of knowing why.
Why did the Most High make the sun?
Huh? Why you make the sun?
Yeah.
Keep in mind, you asking me.
I'm asking you why the Most High made the sun. And choose your answer wisely.
I actually believe that the sun is hell.
Okay, now believe what you believe what it is. Why was it created?
It's a gathering of souls.
No. Why did he create the sun, though, is what he asking.
I don't believe that he created it for what y'all think.
No, we not asking you what you think that we
Why-
did it. We
why I
asking you
believe
why.
that the sun was created.
Right, yes, because
Because there has to be a gathering place for certain souls.
okay. And where did you have that?
Why
what-
do I believe that the sun is alive?
No, listen to this. What research? Because
gases.
no, but hear me
It's
out.
actually moving.
Hear me out. Because you just stood on a premise.
Look at it with a telescope.
Okay, we understand
Okay,
that.
okay.
You made a premise. You said what you stopped doing was just going with things based on feelings and getting deep into knowing substantially the reason why before you move. But you cannot substantiate where you got some information from that proves that the sun is
The meeting of souls.
why he created it.
Because it makes sense to me. I didn't get it from no one. It came to me.
That's
I
the
think too with this though, I
I'm
think
one
more
with my spirit.
the
My spirit
why
asks
thing,
questions why.
because you kind of focus on why it's translated. It's just like what you learned from the pyramids, hieroglyphs has to be translated for you to understand what it means, right?
I didn't even know it was called hieroglyphs. That's how I'm not on.
But I'm saying though, for you to even have your studies to saying something is plagiarized, it has to be translated for you to even know that, correct?
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry.
For you to know that something was plagiarized, it would have to be translated for you to know that's true, correct?
Because you don't read hieroglyphs.
No.
So that's as simple as a lot of this old language has to be translated for us to the language we got today. I don't think it's that deep to be like, why would they translate it? It's simple for us to understand, correct?
I think it's deeper than that's correct, but I think that there's a deeper reason.
And what's that reason?
Well, hold on, let's go here. I think the deeper reason you would be more talking about after it's translated is there something fishy going on after the translation.
There's always something fishy, and nothing.
So you'll be
never
more on
what it
that.
seems.
So you'll be more on that than just why would it just translate for us to understand it in English? If you got a Hebrew script right here and you're the king and it's England, hey, I want this to be English for us to understand. Simple as that.
But knowing a lot of brutal and evil things that he's done, and for him,
Who, King James?
yes, and for him to have all the power from the Almighty to do that, so we all can understand.
Then you
that
thinking
certain
about it too
languages
deep. It's not all the power
But
from
hold on,
the
before we
Almighty.
even go to that, we got to understand it was a translation before that. So you got, just like now, you have the ESV. It's other people now today saying, hey, the King James kind of hard to read. Let's translate it in a more simpler form now. But you got to think Geneva was before King James. And it was some talks that, hey, this is kind of what you call it. We need this English version that you going to have your scholars go and kind of try to make it even more simple.
Yeah.
So that's all it is. That's why I said I think we think it too deep on the part of it's just translated for us to understand this Hebrew script in English, because at that time we got to understand people are following Christianity.
Yeah.
And this is the book they want to follow, but I can't just throw you a Hebrew script and say, figure it out.
Right.
Correct?
Right. I believe that people that are in place of power and have the ability to do something like that. I believe they do it to get something out of it.
He just told
Each
you what
and every one.
He just told you what the result was. What he was trying to get up out of it was for the people that he was ruling around in his providence be able to understand the
To
Bible.
be able to understand.
'Cause they couldn't understand.
He gonna go just do all these other evil work. But I want you to understand the Bible. It don't add up to me.
Brother, listen. Him and who he is had no bounds on what's in the Bible. It don't matter who he is. Oh, it don't matter if he was someone who beat his woman. All he did was translate or allow someone to translate the Bible. That's it. It ain't no deeper than that.
And the Bible speaks against beating your women too. By the way, you said that the Bible speaks against beating your women.
Exactly.
Against what? I'm sorry.
The Bible speaks against beating your women. The Bible don't support beating your women.
Right.
He's just saying, it don't matter what he did as a person. He had the power to translate a book
So you
into
can
where
understand what's in it.
other people can.
You said King James was a
There's a lot
homosexual.
of good stuff in there.
You said King James was a homosexual, right?
Do you see all of it?
So how come if his lifestyle choices mattered pertaining to the content of the Bible, why didn't he make them translate it's okay to be a homosexual instead of leaving it to where homosexuals get put to death?
Right.
That's a good question. That's a good question. I like that.
All praise.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
He would have just changed it. Like, yeah, homosexual, that's cool.
Right.
Because he didn't have no agenda. He just knew that people believed in the Bible and they needed to be able to read it. It's that simple.
He would have put sometime you can, sometime you can't.
Right.
Nothing like that. Nothing of that nature. You do this, you getting killed.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
So I guess that's 3 points that's been debunked through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So what's your nationality on your dad's side? What's your heritage? Cuban? Your dad father's from Cuba? All right. What's the people who live in Cuba, right? Before the Bay of Pigs and all that, was they called Cubans?
No, they were Africans brought there.
That's why there's a big Afro-Cuban population, right? So when you look at the migration or the transatlantic slave trade, right? When before they got over there to Cuba, we know that most of them came from West Africa, right? I mean, that's where the slave trade came from, West Africa, and a lot of them came from the West Indies.
I think a lot of them was already there. I think only maybe less than 10% was actually brought from Africa, and all the slaves that were here in America were already here.
Well, we would say this. We don't negate that, but you have to go from, let's get a bit more specific. The Cubans, we know a lot of you have Afro-Cubans, and then you have Taino-Arawak people. You familiar with the Taino-Arawak? Yeah. So a lot of the people who are dwelling in the West Indies and the Caribbean were Taino-Arawak. When you do your history in the Tainos, they trace themselves back to, well, even before, and in the Seminoles, trace themselves back to the lost tribes of Israel, to the 12 tribes of Israel. You familiar with that? Yeah. The Israelites, right? So when you do that, the Israelites, how did they get their identity as far as like, what is the culture of the Israelites? Who's the God of Israel? Not the fake Jews that are in the land right now, but the biblical Israelites and their heritage, who's their God? God Almighty. And where can you read about him at? The God of the Israelites.
In the Bible.
In the Bible. Right. So even it would go back to your heritage. You're an Israelite, so you got to come back to serving your God. And we're not talking about, because you said something very key what my brother honed in on. We're not talking about the fivefold ministry, evangelists, preach. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about man-made white man Christianity. You got to separate how the Bible's been taught from the poisonous ideologies and the lies and the religious dogma that's been used for control and manipulation. We gotta, yeah, that's what you were talking about. But when you open up the Bible and read for yourself, all of those things we've been taught, they're not even in the Bible.
Unless you got it in you.
No, I'm saying it's literally, even in the words, it's not even in the Bible. But our problem as people, we don't read. We've been so indoctrinated, and it's been passed down from generation. Hey, great granny made you go to church. Mama made you go to church. Daddy made you go to church. Uncle, auntie made you go to, you see what I'm saying? So we're breaking that indoctrination and coming back and studying the Bible through the true biblical lens as Hebrew Israelites and doing our due diligence. Studying to show ourselves approved. You follow me? Getting into the history, getting into the archaeology, right? Getting into the prophecies.
But why is that Bible, the King James version, so different from the other?
It's not different. When you say different in terms of like the ESVs, the GNTs and things of that nature, the other transliterations or translations?
That and there's a lot of scriptures that shows that it's supposed to show in red when Jesus is talking. It's not red in some.
Oh, well, that's more of a, but just to clarify, that's more of just the printer's, prerogative, for lack of better words, because, different Bibles are printed by different printing press companies, and you have different versions. Like you got the Drake Bible, right? They're not like the rapper. I know that's your favorite rapper. Like Drake got a Bible? Nah, but but you got a Bible called the Drake Bible, right? Which has in red when the Most High God speaks. You follow me? That's just their preference of the printer, like the format. You follow what I'm saying?
I understand.
So that's all that is. But in terms of why our preferred translation is the King James, because in totality there was 80 books, right, that were canonized. And 14 of those books, which are called the Apocrypha, which means to hide away, they were actually taken out of the King James of the 1611, the Apocrypha. But not by King James. Because there was a disagreement between the Protestant church. Like Martin Luther. You know Martin Luther? During the Protestant Reformation, there was a big disagreement between the Protestants, right, and between the Church of, it was the Church of England, right, and the Protestants. Because, they've always been little beefs and skirmishes. So they decided, because Martin Luther got cut up on some history that was found in the Apocrypha, they took it out. And then over time, the printing companies, right, kept it out when they printed it. So that's why our preferred translation is a King James 1611, because it has those original books that were from the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Greek Septuagint, the Masoretic text. Yeah, the 1611 had those original books in it. Now when you go into the modern day, oh Jesus, your granny church, you pop it open, it ain't in there. You follow what I'm saying? So we've even getting back to studying and getting into it. Like when you think about, you ever heard of Hanukkah? Right? What do you think about, like, what do you know about Hanukkah?
That's the Jewish 7 candles.
Okay, now peep this. We've been taught growing up that was a Jewish thing. The so-called white man, the Jews, right? But we come to find out that the Hanukkah is called the Feast of the Dedication. And the Hebrew is Hanukkah, which means dedication, right? Our feast is found inside of the book of the Maccabees, which is in the Apocrypha that was taken out. So in fact, that's not something for the Jewish people. That's actually your heritage.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But you can't read about Hanukkah anywhere in the modern day King James Version Bible because it was an Apocrypha that was taken out. That's why we go back to the original 1611 version of the King James Bible, because it has all 80 books as opposed to just the 66 books.
So, who are the people in Israel that they call themselves Jews?
Let's get Revelations 2 and 9, and let's get Revelations 3 and 9. You got it, King. We'll read for you.
I got a question. So,
I'll
We
take
love
3.
these questions.
Revelations 2 and 9.
Yeah.
This is Revelations, chapter 2, verse 9.
Bring it out.
I know thy works and tribulations
This red letter, by the way.
and poverty.
So this is who the world calls Jesus Christ, saying he knows the works of God's chosen people, the Israelites. He knows the poverty of the Israelites. Go ahead.
But thou art rich.
But he says you are rich because we're rich in prophecy. We're rich in what's to come, the kingdom of heaven. Go ahead.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews
Somebody bring up the definition of blasphemy, Lord Willa.
and are not,
Basically, when it goes into blasphemy, it's like the outlandish claim. I know the blasphemy of those who what?
who say they are Jews
Say they are Jews
and are not,
and are not,
but are the synagogue of Satan.
but are the synagogue of Satan.
I know that.
So the Jewish man is the synagogue of Satan.
Absolutely.
But it said that he's the one that say they are Jews and are not.
Absolutely.
So that means there's people who are actually the Jews, right?
Right.
Who would that be?
That would be the melanated men.
All melanated people? You know the Chinese man is melanated.
Fact.
So, percentage.
I mean, but from what the way that you're saying it, percentage
I just don't
wouldn't
like
matter.
saying black because that's not a ethnic.
Yeah, we say so-called black. So-called black.
So-called black.
So-called
yeah, that's
Latinos,
what they
so-called Native Americans.
The Moor.
Well, no, we don't get off into that.
No.
Because, you know, hold on, and then you said you don't like to say black. What does more mean?
Black.
So you're saying the
That's what I
same
said.
thing,
So
you're just saying a
let's
different
just say the
word.
Moors.
Niggers.
Or Indians.
Indians, that's another term for like savage.
Black.
So, this brother funny, man. All praise to the Most High.
That's what they used to call them, blacks. Indians.
But you in agreement that the Jewish man is not the real Jews.
Absolutely.
All praise to the Most High. So you asked, who are those people over there? That's the Jewish man.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I know. I knew who they.
Get
I just
Isaiah
wanted
54
I
and
asked to say this. All throughout time, they've been kicked out of. The kings kicked them out their country for their works, credit, borrowing, letting you borrow, and then you're gonna owe me double back or whatever. Every king and queen back in the day used to kick them out their country. That was against every law known to man. Still, they do it to this day. And the most place they do it is America. Really, the only place they really could do it. And get away with it. But I said that to say this. That's what I mean. Even throughout slavery, even the slaves, we were allowed to go to church, some of them, read the Bible, King James Version, is in every hotel room. They run this country, the Jews.
Yeah, they do.
Why is the Bible so acceptable by the most heinous people on the planet?
I'm going to go to Revelation 3 and 9. Read what the brother called. I'm gonna show you.
So you're gonna say again, is God allowing them or getting into them? You take the most heinous person to do His will.
Yeah. But I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you but I'm gonna show you the end result.
It just don't make sense.
I'm gonna show you the end result, and then it'll make sense.
How about this?
Yeah.
The book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 9.
Bring it out.
Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not,
Right.
but do lie.
Uh-huh.
Behold, I will make them come to worship before thy feet.
Before what?
Before thy feet.
So you know, thy is talking about the real Jews. He's saying those same ones who impersonated you, stole your identity, and used it to run this so-called country with corruption and power. I'm going to make those same Jewish men come before the feet of the real Jews, and what?
And to know that I have loved thee.
And to know that I have loved thee. So basically what it's saying is, I'm going to rip them down from their place of power. And I'm going to make them come before the feet of the real Jews and worship the real Jews when it's time for the roles to reverse. When it's time for the kingdom of heaven to come about and the Israelites, the real Jews, are put back into power and rulership to reign forever. That's the never-ending kingdom, the eternal salvation of the Israelites. For our people to be back in rulership. So right now, yeah, he's using the white man to do his bidding.
That's what they were made for.
That's what they was made for. So the reason why so they could serve their purpose. My people, the Israelites, stopped keeping my commandments. They started going into all these different religions, all these different false ideologies, serving idols, keeping pagan holidays. So I, as in the Most High, lifted up the white man to punish my people. But when it's all said and done, I'm going to send my son back to tear his ass down and put my people back up.
And there's one other thing that you touched on that is very important.
So excuse me for my language too. Go ahead.
When you talk about economics, because that's a big part of, like when you talk about the Spanish Inquisition and all the different things when they was kicking out the fake Jews out of the converts out of their kingdoms, like Isabella, Ferdinand, all them different in the ancient times, right? And fast forward today, as far as like them running the banking systems and things of that nature, right? It's wicked from the sense of what they represent, right? Because they have a wicked spirit, you know, they're wicked people, their intentions. But in truth, the laws and things that they're attempting to go by are actually biblical laws. Because like you just said, they'll lend to you, they'll lend to their Jewish homie at no interest.
Right.
But they'll lend to you at 20% interest, right? But that's what we're supposed to be doing when we're in rulership. Because it's an economic law. Because we can't do certain things to our own people that we can do to the other nations. So I want to bring this out real quick. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23 and verse 19. You get it, King. Right. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother.
You said thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother. Now usury is if I was to lend my brother something, he's of my same nation. He's my people. If I'm to lend him something, I can only expect to get back exactly what I lent him in return. Right. I can't put an increase on it.
No interest.
Or interest on it. Right. I can't say, because it's going to take you 2 weeks to give me back what you gave me, I need an extra 100 on top of that. That's usury. Right. God is saying, amongst your own people, my people, don't do your people like that. Give them this and only get that back. Right. Go ahead.
Usury of money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury.
And that's what they do with their own people. They look out for their people. Absolutely. They'll lend them something and they might not even want the whole thing back. Right. They're going to figure out some type of way within the system to where you actually didn't even have to pay the whole thing back. Right. Maybe. Right. Most of the time it's going to only give me back what you lent. Absolutely. Go ahead.
That's how they roll.
Unto a stranger,
a non-Israelite,
thou mayest lend upon usury.
Thou mayest lend upon usury. So he's saying for our people, if they not your people, you can give them something and expect more in return.
So who's talking? Who's saying that?
This is the Most High speaking through Moses to give laws to our people.
That's right.
Economic laws, laws of what you should eat, laws of what you should dress like, laws of how to treat your women, laws of how to raise your children. The reason why they go by this is because this was given to the best people on the earth.
That's right.
To show you how to live like the best people on the earth. So they thought it would be a great idea to impersonate those people, steal everything so they can live like the best people on the earth.
Absolutely.
That's why you see them living in a sense of being the best people on the earth.
Yeah, they stole everything.
So that would mean we gotta validate everything in here.
Right.
Because we know all it is them stealing it from us originally.
Pretty much.
And look what they're doing with it. They're thriving. So what would the people that it was intended for do if we was living by it? We would thrive triple what they doing.
That's right.
That's the point. That's why we got to come back to our word. We can't let them outdo us in something that was never even meant for them in the first place.
Right. But and it's so accessible.
It is. For everyday life. There's nothing you could come across in this life that God didn't already teach you about how to handle it. And I'll stand on that. I'll put my life on that.
We've been tricked out our spot by the doctrines.
That's right.
Right. Man-made religions.
But see, that's kind of what I'm saying.
But separate this from man-made religion, though. We got to get that out of our mind. I know they done did a good job crossing the lines between the two. So now whenever we see the Bible, the first thing we think of is Christian church. It's not the same. This Christian church don't teach what's in the Bible for real.
No, they teach what they want.
They teach
a
doctrine. That too. They teach a doctrine that was given to them on the plantations by the same man who stole their heritage.
Right.
We don't teach that. We teaching our people to get back to what's actually in the Bible from our understanding, not from the way that they teach us to understand it. The way that they teach us to understand it is so they can remain in power.
Absolutely.
The way we teach us to understand it so we can get the power back.
Right.
You got it, King.
No, I got. Oh, go ahead.
Last thing, Lord willing. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 24 and verse 23.
Bring it out.
And it reads, all these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High God.
So that's all these things. The whole word is the book of the covenant of the Most High. Read on.
Even the law which Moses commanded for an heritage.
For a religion.
For an heritage.
For a heritage. Moses commanded the laws of God as a heritage to who?
For the children of Israel.
For us. This is our lifestyle. We're supposed to be living what's in that book.
Right.
Because that's how we're the set apart people. That's how we're above everybody. The same way they using it to be above everybody, we're supposed to be using it because we're actually above everybody. They pretending to be above everybody.
She stole it. Absolutely.
Call your wife to other she was talking on the right.
Yeah.
God.
Now I can't see no wrong or anything bad about what you guys are doing, because how can I?
So that means
teaching your own people about how things are supposed to be.
Exactly.
So I don't have anything bad to say.
But my question is, before you go, do you have anything bad to say about the Bible? Because now your perspective should be a little different.
Well, I kind of was like.
You said you believed in some of it. You said there's some good things in there.
Yeah. I still feel that way.
So
it's going to take a little bit for me. It's going.
I can understand.
You know what it actually take for me to actually start back reading.
All praise.
All praise. How else is it going to change? My thoughts.
Agreed. I 1,000% agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
So how about this? Let me propose this. Read it with us. We offer every Friday night, we send out a Zoom app, a Zoom link. You hip to the Zoom app, where we get on with all of our people, and we uplift, we reinvent our people in a sense. Get rid of all of this witchcraft, all this foolishness that they taught us. Get your mind right and come back and really learn what's really in here and how we're supposed to be moving.
That part,
nation
I
building.
have done. Got rid of all that.
I can tell that you've done some of that. I can tell that you, because I don't know you all the way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just based off this conversation, I can tell you've done some of it.
And by doing that, you see things that you normally wouldn't have seen before, like symbols and signs on buildings. And,
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. It's evil in a lot of things.
It's evil in a lot of things.
But that's because the Jewish man is in charge of everything.
Absolutely.
So we got to show him, like, you thought you had the one up.
Right.
You thought you could keep us from this true information.
Right.
But I'm going to get so deep into this. Now you can't even really, you can throw me in jail. You can bring up false charges on me. You can kill me. You can rip me away from my children. But what you can't take is me knowing who I am and me serving my God, because I found out that you was trying to trick me.
That's right.
They can't take that, even to the day of your death.
That's right.
And then God will reward you for doing what he told you to do.
Absolutely. I think he does now.
All praise to the Most High.
I think he does now. With that, yeah.
Yo, truck driver.
Let's exchange info before you go,
You got
King.
gear 1 and getting gear 10. I drive semis too, man.
Oh,
So
okay,
gear
yeah.
1, you stuck in that doctrine, that misunderstanding. Getting gear 10, come back to your God, bro. Come back to your heritage. Come back to your people, brother.
Yeah, let me get your number if that's cool.
That's fine.
Book of Acts chapter 17 and verse 11.
Bring it up.
These were more noble than those in Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness of mind, and searched the scriptures daily whether those things were so.
So that's telling us to search the scriptures. Put everything about this world on trial and get into your book and see if it line up with what God said. That's how we live.
Right.
All praise.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you too, man. Shalom, okay?
Peace and blessings.
All praise. All praise. Hey, well, good thing the sun is down.
The sun went down.
Drink moderate too, King.
It could have been worse. You could.
God.
You know what I'm saying? All praise
God.
to the Most High. Damn.
God.
Pause it.
God, you can stop it.
Talk about the biblios, all Paul letter, all wrapped in one. You got the so-called Old Testament, right? You got all the prophets, everything compiled in one, like they had that. We see even Christ when he was sitting up at